is up, takers, and welcome back to Ty's Take Today Live. We do this each and every Thursday and Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern. And joining us today as we are getting ready for Love and Marriage, they're back on OWN. And of course, we're talking to our favorite, Kristina Bowman Smith. So I'm going to go ahead and add Kristina to the live right now. How are you?
Hi, Ty. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you so much again for joining us and taking over a part of the show tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Anytime, you're always welcomed. And I just have to say, for those that may not have been watching Love and Marriage Detroit, can we fill them in? And I know we're going to talk a little bit about what viewers can expect for part 2, which is premiering on Saturday.
Okay, so you want me to fill them in on what the show is about overall?
Yeah, let's just give them a little taste for those that need to get caught up real quick.
So Love and Marriage Detroit is a show based in the city of Detroit. 4 couples just basically navigating our marriage and friendships in front of a ton of viewers. It gets real, it gets raw, it gets sticky. You see a lot of real life dynamics play out on television, very relatable topics and scenarios. So we are going into the second half of season 2. Season 1 was basically an introduction of the cast and just Detroit in general. And then season 2, we kind of dived more into a deeper dive into friendships. We added another couple, which gave another layer of friendship for all of us, especially for me, like a rocky friendship. My Brandon and I were on very rocky terms during the beginning of season 2, season 1 too, geez. And so now we're gonna roll into the second half where we get into, I would say, you get to see more of the business side of everybody, what everybody kind of has going on in their own personal lives. You might see some repair of friendships and relationships. You might even see the breakdown of a relationship. So it's it's a lot. I personally dive into a little bit of music, a little bit of my music career, and yeah, I'm really excited for everybody to see like what we have on our second half of the season.
Absolutely. And I know, speaking of your music, I want to talk a little bit about that. I know you partnered up and worked with Downtown Deuce. So what made you really want to dive back in and share that part of your life with us as viewers on the show?
So I have actually a background in music. I come from a musical household. And then in my late teens and early 20s, I was actually in the music industry. I had a deal on the table with Sony Record that I did not sign at the last minute because I was a little iffy of the industry. It wasn't that serious for me to sign my life away like that. So it's always been a passion of mine, singing. So what you'll see in the second half of the season is, me kind of dig into an old passion and how that plays out actually between Brandon and I, because Brandon is in the industry already and he has like the tools and what it takes for me to be a successful artist. So you'll see how we kind of navigate that, how we bump heads with that, and kind of where that goes. But yeah, it's just always been a passion of mine.
Absolutely. And I know we're also going to see more, like you said, in depth about your friendship. And, a lot of people want to know about your relationship and your friendship with Kimberly. And I know on previous episodes, we talked to Chelsea on the show. So it's really just going to be exciting overall to see, like you said, we got the introduction and now we're diving deeper into your guys' lives.
Yeah. So you'll definitely see, you'll see on the first half of season 2, Kimberly and I just really could not even have a conversation without it blowing up. So what I do love about the second half of season 2 is that you do get to actually see us have a freaking conversation with some smiles and some calm emotion. So I'm excited for you guys to kind of see that and us kind of like get a little more in depth with kind of what happened with our friendship. that caused us to dissolve it in the past. So you definitely see that.
Absolutely. And I feel like the big question, which all of us know, full disclaimer, you can't really dive into, but everybody wants to know like where you and Brandon are now and what that looks
Ooh, you guys want to know stuff.
like. The people are talking, Twitter
Are
especially.
they talking? What are they saying? Tell me, because I haven't been on. What they saying, Tyler?
I'm just saying they want to know, the streets are talking and myself included. You know me. I gotta. I'm just trying to know what's going on. But like I said,
I'm gonna say stay tuned. I can't give too much away, but hello. Yeah. So yeah, it's just like that.
and then so back to season one and the previous episodes we've seen thus far. Was there any like scene or conversation that was particularly hard for you, or even like a scene that maybe didn't make it to TV that you would have liked to see on the show?
A scene that was particularly hard for me to have, or a conversation. I don't know. I feel like I'm always in like a tough spot with whoever I'm dealing with on the show. Friends, husband, I don't know. It's I feel like there's always like uncomfortable moments for me in that. So, but they don't really bother me so much. So I can't really say like they're completely uncomfortable. Sometimes uncomfortable conversations need to be had. I'm happy that I get to have them in front of the world, because I feel like a lot of people can relate to a lot of what we have going on. So if how I handle situations and hard conversations and uncomfortable situations can help somebody else handle themselves better on their end, then I'm happy to just do it in front of the world. No problem.
Absolutely. And then I feel like, we see you on the show, but you're an entrepreneur, you're a social media influencer, content creator, all of the things, a woman of faith. How do you especially stay grounded, and like what does that look like? Let's talk a little bit more about who Kristina is, even outside of what we see on camera.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I do juggle a lot. Um, I, as you said, I'm a woman of faith. So I make sure that I'm like grounded in God. When I wake up at 5 in the morning, and the first thing I do is pray and really just, surrender my day to God, and, ask Him to direct me and give me the strength to carry on my day, because it's a lot. I have 2 children as well. So navigating, being a mom and businesses and different things. It can be taxing. Women, we wear a lot of hats, and you know, I I try to do it with as much grace as possible. It's not easy, but having a God foundation, keeping a to do list. iCal is my best friend. If I'm not putting stuff in my calendar, it just doesn't exist. So I'm at that point in my life where I have to put it in my calendar or it will not get done. So yeah, and just having friends and um relationships that, can hold you accountable and, kind of keep you on track. I think that's very important. The company you keep.
Absolutely. And I know, you've done several interviews today alone and you've been constantly doing interviews. Is there any particular part or portion of who you are overall as a person? Or even like when it comes to people talking on social media, we only get to see like a glimpse of you, you know what I mean? And a glimpse of who you are in your story. Is there anything in particular you wish that the public or the media would focus a little bit more on, during these types of interviews?
Hmm. Um, I feel like most of the times the interviews are pretty well rounded. Again, because I'm a social media influencer, because I'm always super transparent anyway, I feel like people always get parts, the good parts of my life. There are, of course, some things that I keep sacred. I can't share everything with you guys, but I feel like I'm pretty transparent. And, I feel like, my light is captured in the best parts for the most part.
Absolutely. So outside of television, are you currently working on any projects that you can discuss? And how do you plan to use your platform just to serve your overall passions and being a woman of faith and being a mentor or even an example to other people out there? What does that type of content look like for you?
I do have some things coming up. If I say them specifically, it'll give some things away. I will say this: I am in a huge transition in my life, and I feel like what I am transitioning through, me talking about that, which I plan to do, it will help a lot of people. And so that is in the plans for me. It's in the works. And as soon as I'm able to speak on that, I will be sharing that part of my life in detail and hopefully helping other people navigate through very similar situations. Aside from that, with spring wear, if you look for women's spring wear, the clothing line is about to drop. So you'll be able to shop KristinaBowmanSmith.com for some spring looks, accessories. I will also have merch, some cute sayings that I've had during filming. They'll be on there as well. So that's what I have going on right now. So stay tuned. I can't give too much away because it'll give too much away if I gave the little bit away. But this is just a teaser.
Kristina said just a little drop because contracts are signed.
Yeah, if I say a thing, it'll give the other thing away, and I can't say a thing. So.
You already know because I was like, I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to be addressing her by Kristina Bowman Smith. So that's what I'm rolling with. Okay. Hey, reading in between the lines a little bit here, but y'all see what the header says. So Kristina for sure.
It's definitely Kristina.
So I also, I just want to talk a little bit about, are there any type of organizations or charities or any nonprofits within the city that, you plan on working with or you would like to work with? Like, could we see you getting more involved within the community as well?
Yeah, so I'm actually a founding member of Detroit Fashion Community, which is basically like a fashion hub here in the city of Detroit. And I have recently rejoined the board as the director of education. So that is a nonprofit organization that I am devoting my time to these days. Also, I was a founding member of Michigan Fashion Week. And I am also on the board for that again. So I'm really excited. Both of them are nonprofit organizations. Both of them are based around fashion, which is also one of my passions, a passion that I'm just really like dedicated to. So I'm excited to, be able to give back to the community through those two organizations right now.
Absolutely. And Kristina, before we get out of here, I'm going to have a couple more questions for you. And I know we're going to play a quick game of rapid fire.
Okay.
For those that are watching, you guys can still chime in with your thoughts if you're watching live on Facebook or YouTube. And we'll be sharing some of the comments during the interview. But if it's okay with you, I think we should go ahead and show the teaser for Saturday's episode.
Ooh.
Let's go ahead and roll that real quick. And then we'll be back with more questions. Give me just a second to get that pulled up for you guys.
Here we go. It's now or never.
Detroit returns.
I feel so loved. I feel so seen.
With all new episodes.
Anthony is the most braggadocious person I have ever met.
You keep playing with me, I'll burn the whole house down.
And all new drama.
You're not everybody's cup of tea. This is just a lot.
Are we serious right now?
I don't know where we go from here with this friend group.
Love and Marriage Detroit returns Saturday, April 12th, 8/7 Central.
We just saw a lot in that little couple seconds.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a good second half of the season. So yeah,
for sure. I'm excited to see what's coming. And for you, I know I haven't yet to be able to watch the other franchises of Love and Marriage. What do you think sets Love and Marriage Detroit apart, aside from it being obviously Detroit based?
You know, I did not watch the other cities because initially I just didn't watch television at all. Like, I'm just not a TV girl. I don't have time for it. And then when I did get casted for this show, I did not want to watch them because I didn't want to come on with like an expectation of how to be, or you know what I'm saying? I didn't want it to be a performance like, oh my God, well, this is how this person is. I have to do this, and this is what's gonna grab everybody. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to come in pure and clean. So I really don't have anything to compare it to in that sense. But I will say that what I do hear other people saying is Detroit does not have as much drama as some of the other shows. I feel like they believe that our drama is more like soft drama. Like everybody's like a PK. Like all the women are like pretty much PK. So we don't even swear. We barely swear. If somebody says a curse word, we're like, oh my God, call on Jesus. So I would say we might be a little more mellow and soft and drama as far as the drama factor than some of the other cities. And then it's just Detroit. We're just a different breed, you know? But I do think that as far as it comes like in our own city in Detroit, I do feel like there's a lot of people that kind of feel like some of us don't represent Detroit in a sense. We hear that a lot. Like this cast doesn't represent Detroit, but I just want people to be a little more open-minded because we all live in Detroit. Detroit is, you know, it has a lot of different type of people. I think that people relate a certain aesthetic, a certain attitude with Detroit, but the rest of us are still here as well. So I do appreciate that Carlos King and, you know, the team chose the way they did just to give another dynamic of Detroit because we already know that side of Detroit. So the rest of us are here. So I'm not from here. I know that that's the thing sometimes, like she's not even from here, but that's okay. People that are not from here are here as well. And we consider ourselves to be a part of Detroit. We love Detroit too. We can't claim it the same way everybody else can, but we love Detroit. You know, we have a heart for Detroit. I feel like I'm an honorary D girl. I've been here for almost 14 years. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I feel like that's why we're different. I think we're different because we're not, you know, as I don't want to say drama filled, but we don't have the same type of drama as the other shows. And then from a local standpoint, I feel like they were able to pick out people from all over Detroit and not just the stereotypical deep person, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also like,
okay.
yeah, it definitely makes sense. And you guys all have your different projects. You, when it comes to fashion and being involved, you know, as an entrepreneur and content creator, I feel like each of you guys have your own, you know, Brandon with Star Factory, Anthony with his music ventures. So I feel like you guys all, Latoya, when it comes to her Opulence Wine. So I think like being able to see, and I'm hopefully hoping that we get to see, like you said, more of the business side of your guys' everyday lives.
You definitely do. And I love that.
All right, so last question before we go into the rapid fire, which are completely random, fun questions. What advice would you give out there, especially to women out there who are looking to go into business, and, you know, any advice or pointers to anybody out there that may be watching that may want to launch or start a business? Or
I would say, of course, do a ton of research. You know, sometimes we come up with ideas and we think this business looks good. It looks like it could be lucrative, but a lot of these people have put a lot of hard work and, you know, time in. So I say definitely do your research to see if it's something that really fits who you are and how you want to show up. I would say the other thing is just if that aligns with you, for sure, do it, and do it scared, because I think a lot of times women or people in general can have an idea and they know that it's something that they want to do, or they feel like they're being led to do it, but they have fear about starting it. What if I fail? Well, this person is doing it, that person is doing it. but it's unique to you when it's your baby, when it's your, when you're creating it still has its own uniqueness. So I would say do it scared. Do it, without all the resources. It does not need to be perfect. It just needs to get done.
Absolutely. And I want to share the comments real quick. Doris, who did our first interview with you, she said, okay, clothing line. And then, oh, so excited. So I wanted to just get to the comments. And then,
hi, Doris. I love her.
Yes, she is incredible. So definitely shout outs to Doris in the chats. All right, Kristina, if you're down to play this rapid fire, what is your dream collaboration in music, living or dead?
Ooh. Babyface.
Ooh, okay.
I love me some Babyface. I've loved Babyface since I was a kid. And when I grew up, a lot of the songs that I loved when I was a child, I didn't realize he wrote. I was like, oh, that's why I loved it, because Babyface wrote it. If I can collab with Babyface, you couldn't tell me anything. I love me some Babyface. His music, like he's a musical genius. So yeah, it's Babyface for me.
For sure, I could totally see that. What is your go-to karaoke song?
SWV Week.
I love it. I love it. Favorite Detroit food spot?
Ooh, Layla.
Ooh, I have not.
Layla's a Mediterranean restaurant downtown Detroit. Food is so bomb.
Adding it to my list this weekend.
Please do. You will not be disappointed.
Definitely gonna give me some Mediterranean food. If you could travel to any decade, where are you going and why?
Ooh, you know what? Put me in the Roaring 20s. Like the fashion in the Roaring 20s was just everything. Like I would kill in the fashion game in the Roaring 20s. Take me there.
So do you have any like guilty pleasures? I know you said, you're not really super big on reality TV, right?
Okay.
So any like secret guilty pleasures that you enjoy?
Yeah. It's really weird. Like I never share this with anybody because it's so strange. But when I was pregnant, I was addicted to bubbles and suds and like it's so weird. Suds. And so now like I found this community of people who squeeze suds out of like sponges. Have you ever seen anything like that? It's so weird.
ASMR videos?
Yeah, like they're all over TikTok, all over Instagram, but they literally like fill a bucket with like cleaning solution and they put like different sponges in there and they squeeze the suds and they just look so yummy coming out. I love it. Like I can watch it all day. I know some people like watching like carpet cleaning and different things like that, but give me the suds and the sponges. That's my guilty pleasure.
All right. And then I'm over here ready to look at TikTok to see what's going on. I haven't heard about that
I'm
yet.
gonna send you some videos, okay?
Send me
Look
them,
out for them.
Send me them, please. What is one word your friends would use to describe you?
Crazy.
Now I'm
super fun and crazy, so
I'm gonna change it. What is one word that your daughters would describe you, aside from mommy, of course?
Fun. They think I'm the coolest, most fun mom. They're like, Mom, we're so glad you're a fun mom. So I love that.
Absolutely. And what are three top songs or artists that have been on repeat for you lately?
Ooh, okay. I don't know. Chris Brown, the one that goes, we don't, baby, take your time. What's the
rush?
Yes, that one. I wish I knew the name. That's so
I think it's called Mutt. My boyfriend.
Mutt. Oh yes, Mutt. What else? I See You from Coco Jones.
Yes, Coco Jones.
Yes, and then Bobby Brown Roni. That's always on my that's always like at the top of my playlist. I've been playing that song since I was a kid.
I'm gonna have to look up the two. You said I'm familiar with Coco Jones, but I'm sure I've heard that one because
You know, I see you. I need you.
Are we
That one.
little vocals on here?
Yes. Ooh, little sprinkle, sprinkle.
Sprinkle. And then this last one. What is your alter ego's name when you're either incognito or you're just a boss? I can't say the word.
Ooh, I don't have an alter ego name. I guess I have to think of one because I never gave myself one. Ever since Beyonce did Sasha Fierce, I was just like, how can you compare to that? But I'm gonna come up with one and I'll send it to you.
Okay. For sure. So Kristina, thank you again. Love and Marriage Detroit. It's season 2, part 2, right?
Yes, part 2
Saturday. And is it if I got my times right, it's 8 p.m.
It is. It used to be 9, but I guess we got moved up. I definitely said it wrong on my first interview on the news, so I got like half of Detroit watching it at 9. I hope they can fix that, but yeah, it's 8 this time around.
So 8 p.m. Eastern, and then you guys can also stay tuned to Ties Take Today Live on Saturdays. Right after the episodes, we're going to be going live and hopefully talking to some of the other castmates and just sharing our thoughts. Doris is going to join us, and we're just going to have a good time repping the city. And you're our favorite, so that's probably why I haven't been getting a lot of the others, but Kristina's real, so that's all that matters.
I love you, Tyler. Thank you so much.
I love you so much. Doris is in the chat too. She said, "Hi, Kristina. Love you too."
I love you too, honey.
All right, so be sure to tune into Love and Marriage Detroit on Saturdays, 8 p.m. Kristina, thank you so much. I love you, and I will talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
All right, that was Kristina Bowman Smith, or just Kristina, and she is from Love and Marriage Detroit. So be sure to tune in and catch them on OWN TV. It's on Saturday, season 2, part 2, premiering at 8 p.m. Eastern. OWN TV, and then be sure to catch Ties Take Today live with me, Doris, and everybody else that wants to share their thoughts. Will be going live on Saturdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, and then stay tuned to our YouTube and social media channels because we're also going to be talking to Bravo. I believe that's on Sunday. So we'll be talking to Bravo about his experience on Love and Marriage Detroit and Bravo's conversations and all of his projects as well. So that's going to do it for this episode. Go ahead and be sure to follow us on all social medias. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube at It's Ties Take Today, Instagram at It's Ties Take Today, Facebook at It's Ties Take Today. And hopefully we'll be checking in with Kristina to talk about more episodes down the road and her projects as well. So that's going to do it for this edition of Ties Take Today Live, and we'll be back.